Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Python for Data Analysis course. This is Eugene, and today we'll be going through Python methods, functions, and libraries. For the Python methods, we'll specifically look at some dictionary methods. Then we'll look at some built-in functions like the print and type functions. And then finally, we'll look at how to import libraries into our Jupyter Notebook environment and work with some of those libraries. So if you recall from our previous lesson, we learned how to create dictionaries. And so for today, we're going to look at methods which are a set of instructions that are associated with different objects. And those set of instructions perform specific tasks. So for our dictionary methods, these are instructions that are associated with the dictionary object. And the two methods that we're going to look at are the keys method and the values method. And so if you remember, a dictionary is made up of a key value pair or key value pairs. And so we have, for example, the country population, which has the keys as the country names: Ghana, United States, Canada, South Africa, and Argentina. And then we have the population of these countries as the values. Over here, I have another dictionary which is essentially picking out the regions of Ghana, the states of the United States, and then the provinces of Canada. And so what you see here is that our keys here are the country names: Ghana, United States, and Canada. And then our values is actually a list. So this is a list object which is acting as a value in our dictionary. All right, so let's go ahead and run this code cell, which contains both of our dictionaries: country, population, and region. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to access the keys method. And so you will type country underscore population, which is the dictionary name, and then dot keys with the two brackets, which would give you the method. And so when we run this code, it gives us the dictionary keys of Ghana, United States, Canada, South Africa, and Argentina, which is the keys in this country population dictionary. Now let's do the same thing for our regions dictionary. And so we can do regions dot keys. And when we run this code cell with shift and enter, it gives us a dictionary keys: Ghana, United States, and Canada. The second method that we're going to look at is the values method. And so we can do the same for country population, and then we do dot values, and that will see the dictionary values, which are the population numbers for the keys in that order, or in the order in which they appear in the dictionary. And then we can look at our region values, and what we expect to see for our region values is our regions values is a list of all the different regions for Ghana, for the United States, and then for Canada. And so this is a list of lists. So this is a list containing three different lists. The next step that we're going to look at is functions. Now, functions are also a set of instructions that perform specific tasks. Now, the only difference between functions and methods is that functions are not necessarily associated with certain objects. Now, there are built-in functions that we're going to use, which is like the print function, the type function, the length function, and then there are user-defined functions, which I would go, I would do an introduction of it first, but then we'll go into more detail in a later course. Now, one key advantage of using functions is that it helps to recycle code very easily. And what that means is that you don't have to rewrite the set of instructions over and over again. You can just call a function that will call that set of instructions to make it easier and your code more manageable. So the first function we're going to look at is a built-in function called print. And what we're going to do is we're going to print our country population keys. And so it gives us pretty much a similar output like we got from above. And then we can print out the country population values. And so that gives us the dictionary values that we got whenever we run this code cell above. Now, what we can do is we can also find the type of the object that we're looking at. So we know that we're working with a dictionary type. And so let's see what type our region's dictionary is. We expect to see dictionary. But then if we go in and try and look at the type of the output of the keys method, let's see what that gives us. Regions.keys. And so that gives us a type of dictionary keys. And if we look at the type of values for regions, it gives us dictionary values. We're going to look next at the length function. And so like the name implies, the length function would return the length of the object that we put into it, that we input into the function. And so here I'm going to put the regions dictionary, and it's going to give me a length of 3. It returns the length of the keys of the dictionary, or the key value pairs of the dictionary. And so if we look at country population, I believe we should have 5. Now, if we wanted to find out, for example, how many regions Ghana had, or how many states the United States had, or how many provinces Canada had, what we're able to do is we can use another function called list to change the values of, for example, regions into a list of lists. And so over here, if you look at the output, there's a list which contains Ashanti region to Western North, another list for all the states of the United States, and then another list for the provinces of Canada. And so let's store this in a variable called regions list. And then the next thing that we'll do with regions list is we can find the length of regions list. And that should give us 3 because there are 3 list objects inside the regions list object. Let's print the regions list again. Let me change this back to a code cell. And so when we print this, we have a list which has 3 list objects. So this is one list object. This is another list object. And this is the final list object. It's better if we print it out this way so we can see 1, 2, and then 3 list objects. Now, if we want to find out how many regions are in Ghana, for example, we have to access this list. And so regions list, and remember we use the square brackets to access a list, and then the indices start from 0. And so 0 would give us all the regions of Ghana. And so we've confirmed that here. And so to find the length, we just put that in the length function, and that gives us 16. So what we can do is we can write print and then put it in a string. And if you recall, we looked at this way of outputting information using dot format, which is also a string method. And so we can say the Ghana has, and then we put the curly brackets. And so it says Ghana has 16 regions. And so what I would advise you to do is you can go in and then play around with, Canada, with the United States, and then change up the code so that you can print out this kind of output. Next, I want to give a quick introduction to user-defined functions. Like I said earlier, we'll look at them into more detail in a later course. And so for user-defined functions, we define them using the keyword def, that is DEF. And I'm showing one here below. So DEF defines a function, and then you have my function, which is the function name. And then here is an input to the function, which is message. And then there's a colon. And then all that my function contains is an instruction to print message. So whatever we put here in message is going to get printed by this function. And so I run this code cell to define the function, and then I call the function by name, which is my function, and then I put a string in there, which is hello, my name is Eugene. And when I run my function, it's going to give me hello, my name is Eugene. So we'll look at this into more detail in another course.